Believe it or not, a lot of people buying their first home have no idea how to do certain simple, basic home maintenance tasks. Are you one of them? Having lived in an apartment complex with a maintenance crew or in a living situation where someone else handled the maintenance, many new home buyers suddenly find themselves up to their elbows in tasks they've never done before. If you've only ever lived in an apartment with a manager or with mom and dad, homeownership may carry some surprises. Do you know how to do these 12 essential tasks? Number 4 is an incredibly simple and cheap job, and yet so many people have problems with it or never do it at all. So follow along and let's learn about some of these. Number 1, can you fix a running toilet? Fix it right away or risk a ridiculously high water bill. It's usually not difficult to make that water stop running. Go ahead, lift the lid on top of the tank and see what's in there. It's not as scary as you might think. YouTube has plenty of videos to help you diagnose the problem. It's often something you can do yourself without having to call in a plumber. And we know that plumbers, they're busy and they're not always available, so learn to do it yourself. While we're talking about water and plumbing, can you find the main shutoff valve for your home? This is super important. If, for example, the water line from your dishwasher to the main water supply suddenly breaks, you're going to have a gusher in your kitchen and you'll need to shut off the main water supply as soon as possible. You'd be amazed at how quickly your home can flood when you're trying to figure out where that shutoff valve is located. So go ahead, go find it right now. Pause the video, go find it before there's an emergency. And make sure the valve can be easily moved. Sometimes they get stuck if they haven't been used in years. And a piece of advice that I always follow myself and I give to all my real estate clients is to turn off the main water supply to the home anytime that you're going to be gone overnight. That way, if a leak develops while you're gone, you're not going to come home to a flooded house and thousands of dollars worth of damage. Number 3, do you know how to unclog a drain or a toilet? Get a plunger and a drain snake to keep on hand for emergencies. Again, YouTube is your friend if you don't know how to use these items, and you definitely want to have them on hand. Number 4, make sure you know how to change the filters in your HVAC system and set up a reminder on your calendar to change them regularly. Every 3 months works for many homes. The schedule depends on what's going on inside your home. Is there a smoker? Have you been kicking up a lot of dust during a remodeling project? Do you have pets? Lots of outdoor air pollution. You may need to change the filters more often. Pull the filter out and look at it. If it's turning dark gray, it's time for a change. Remember, the HVAC system is one of the single most expensive systems in your home. You don't want to have to place your furnace or air conditioner sooner than necessary. Keeping the filters changed regularly will prolong the life of your HVAC and save you money in the long run. Number 5, do you know how and when to mow your lawn? If you're not going to hire someone to do this job for you, you'll need to understand a bit about grass and how its growth changes with the seasons. And you'll need to know how to maintain your lawnmower, including how and when to sharpen the blades. Don't forget to put gasoline in if it's a gas-powered mower. Number 6, while we're on the subject of lawn care, take the time to learn about caring for your lawn. Your local lawn and garden center can give you good advice. Here in the Boise, Idaho area, where I'm a realtor, we need to apply a product called Weed and Feed a couple of times a year to keep our lawns in good shape. It's usually spring, maybe summer and fall. You'll also need to figure out the right watering schedule for your lawn. If you have automatic sprinklers, watch a quick tutorial on how to set the controls. Your watering schedule should change with the seasons and with the weather. Just as an example, there's no point wasting this precious resource when you've just had a lot of rainfall. So turn your sprinklers off when it's been raining. Don't waste that water, please, especially here in Idaho. Number 7, learn how to winterize your home if you live in a part of the country like Idaho where there's actual winter weather. First of all, you'll need to have someone blow out your sprinklers so they don't freeze. Secondly, you'll need to protect your hose bibs with insulated covers, and you want to gather up all of your garden hose and store it in the garage or inside the house if you don't have a garage. The vents in the home's foundation will need to be closed for winter and then to open again in spring. These vents can be hard to find if you have mature shrubbery, so be prepared to dig around a bit. Maybe take a photo so that you know where they are for the next time. Make sure your gutters are clean. A buildup of leaves, pine needles, and a surprising amount of dirt can facilitate ice dam formation when the weather is cold, and ice dams lead to roof damage, and boy is that expensive to fix. Number 8, this next item is controversial, and in fact I don't necessarily agree with it myself, but many people think we should all learn to do interior painting. I disagree because I've seen so many terrible amateur paint jobs in my career as a realtor. Sloppy application, incomplete or inadequate coverage, paint on the carpets and ceiling, and inappropriate choices of paint type and color. So I guess my advice is that if you insist on doing your own interior painting, watch lots of tutorials before starting and invest in the proper equipment. As for me, I'm going to continue hiring a professional for my own interior and exterior painting, and I'll advise my clients to do the same thing. Number 9, learn to use caulking to seal cracks and gaps. Learn to put in weather stripping around interior doors. Figure out how to set your thermostat properly, and don't forget to vacuum your refrigerator coils regularly. All of these small jobs take just a minute, but they help you save big on heating and cooling bills. And don't forget to have your HVAC serviced twice a year, spring and fall. Now, this isn't a job you can do yourself, or at least you shouldn't try, but it is necessary. It will extend the life of your expensive HVAC system. Doesn't cost that much overall. Number 10. Other jobs you may want to master include changing batteries in your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and testing your GFCI, which is ground fault circuit interrupter outlets. And do you know how to find a wall stud so that you can hang a heavy mirror or a picture frame? Be sure to run the cleaning cycle on your dishwasher and your clothes washer at least once a month. You can buy special detergents for that purpose. And if you have a front-load washing machine, like most of us do nowadays, take my advice, wipe down the rubber gasket in the front door as well as the inside of the door itself when you've finished using the machine. And then leave the door partially open so that the machine can dry out thoroughly. I do this every time. Otherwise, you end up with mildew, not only in the machine, but on your clothing, and that is something you definitely don't want. Number 11, either clean your gutters and downspouts yourself or hire someone to do the job. Kind of depends on how you feel about ladders. I don't recommend climbing ladders, especially if you're older. And this is one job that definitely requires ladder use. Once a year should be enough if you don't have nearby trees that drop leaves or needles into your gutters. If you do have a leaf litter problem, you'll probably need to clean out those gutters in both the spring and the fall. Well, why bother? Because clogged gutters can lead to water being forced under your shingles, which in turn leads to leaks inside your attic, and that leads to mold in your house. Your roof is a very expensive part of your home. Take care of it. Finally, number 12. If you are the adventurous type, you can check out your attic and crawl space annually. Be sure to look for signs of water penetration and mold. It's usually black. Water is one of your home's biggest enemies, right behind wind damage. Also look for rodent droppings, attic fans that aren't working, or missing insulation. Use your senses and your common sense to care for your home. Listen for unusual noises, watch for unusual appearances, sniff for strange smells. Find a good handyman if you're not comfortable handling these tasks yourself. Keep your house clean and don't let unused belongings pile up. These can hide problems. Your home is the single largest investment you'll ever make. Take care of it and your home will take care of you financially. And for more on home ownership, check out this next video. And thanks for watching.